There we go. Mic doesn't always come right back, so I have to play with it. So back again, Jerry here with Subcoin Journal YouTube channel. We are now doing Chapter 4, Z-axis of the Prusa Mark III build. Actually, it was a MK2s upgrade to Mark III build. In this section, we're going to need these Z-axis top and bottom parts that my previous MK2s printed extremely accurately. You need the bag of these goodies for the Z-axis. There's a belt. Might as well get it out of there. Needed eventually. And a set of screws. Each step seems to have a few extras, so I just shove them to the far end of my little magnetic tray here and put the new ones in this end. The magnetic tray does nothing in here. These are stainless. Good stainless. Cheap stainless is magnetic. Okay, what else do we need? We need 2 Z motors and oh, the borescope is on. Anyway, 2 Z-axis motors. They're the ones with the great big long rods on them, like so. I'll set those aside. We're going to need the trapezoidal nuts, which are these pieces. These are salvaged from the previous machine. Set those up here. Set this up here. And I think we're good to go. This section is number 4, Z-axis, rated as moderate, 45 minutes to an hour. I should put a stopwatch on this sometime. And the first part, oh, we need one more little piece. I forgot about it. We need this guy. So now we're good to go. Printed parts are not the same. There's a left and a right. Okay, how do we figure that part out? The way you figure it out is this hole needs to be outbound on them. You don't want them this way. You want them this way. But they will mount this way, right there. Right here. Let's see if we can get this at an angle where you can see what's going on. Brace the print parts next frame. See the correct orientation. Tighten each print part with three M3 by 10 screws. These are M3 by 10s. 3 of them. 2 are there. 1 more. Okay, I didn't like the way that one started. Hang in there, I'm going to do something different. These might be a little snug because if they got powder coating, this black shiny stuff in the threads, it'll make them tighter than they should be. You really know you're cross-threaded because as you turn the screw in, it'll get tighter and tighter and tighter. That's a bad sign. And Prusa suggests if there's too much powder coating in here, send the screws through from this side to clean them up and then install these pieces. Again, you want to make sure that this small hole faces outwards. Doo-doo-doo. Remember, snug, but not super tight. You can damage the plastic. And there's no need to have it that tight, because they are not going anywhere. Step 2 of chapter, 4 is done. There are 2 different length cables on these Z motors, which is what we're doing next. Shorter cable goes closest to where the controller board's going to be, which is on this side here. Or as you're looking at it from the front, to be on the left side. So that's a short cable. It'll go on this side. The long cable will go on this side because it's got a thread all the way through. Next step, and what you do is it comes packaged in a new machine. These nuts will be off of here, but I already have them off. But there's these little cone guards, and they keep filament strings from getting in the motors. Just thread those down on there, and you'll be ready to go. If you retrieved it from your old machine, they should already be on there. I'm talking about this little plastic piece right here. So, motor, short cable, long cable right, motors must be oriented towards the frame. There's a small cotton frame for each cable. He says there's a small cutout for each cable, and what he's referring to is this piece right here. So these motors will go in oriented with the cable so they can reach that slot. Remember, short cable on the left, sort of, just like that. Stand it back up, sort of. Okay, it's another one of those tighten evenly and not over tightened, because you can damage either the threads on the motor or the plastic part itself. Don't want to do either one. 4 screws on each side. At this point you can compare your orientation of these parts with the pictures, and you'll see the small holes facing outward. And just make sure that it is, and you're good to go. almost starting to look like a printer. Tighten them evenly. I usually go diagonal patterns, make several trips around to make them, get them where you want them. I go for a nice snug, semi-snug tight feel. Okay, I'm going to set this puppy back a little bit. Next stage is what they call the trapezoidal nuts. That's these two little guys. There's one right there. And they go on here somehow. Don't know how, but I know they do. Ooh, tricky. First thing it wants me to do is get some regular hex nuts. These are not the oh boy. There it goes. It's gone. Anyway, these are not the nylox, these are just regular hex nuts. The fun part is we need to get them in I know I can do this. Here we go. We need to get them in these slots. There's one back here and one right here. Again, tweezers not included in the kit, but they come in handy. Push them in snug. Okay, where's the other one? There it is. Okay, that's those in place. Step 6. This puppy's here. The trapezoidals. And they go on here. using 10s, yeah. 10x3s, which are these guys. If you're not aware, an M10 screw would be the diameter of this threaded part is 3mm and the length is 10mm. So that's a M3 by 10. Oh, interesting. If you have the newer one, which has this adjustment, use the 18s. I didn't think they were long enough. Again, do as I say, read the instructions. Don't do as I do, which is skip ahead and skip around. And this one has some gooey in the hole. Apparently I missed one or two when I was cleaning. Drill bits, drill bits, drill bits. It didn't take long for those to disappear. Good to go. Okay, we're not good to go. That side is, this side isn't. Try that. Now we're good. And success. Look at that. Well, that good. Now the old trapezoidal nuts are in place. Those fit on these threaded rods. Now we get to do something fun. I'll make it so you can see one of these tops to get an idea what I'm doing. There we are. Need to get the orientation of this like so. Single bearing on the, will be on the back side wherever it is over here. Motor and pulley facing you. funny little notch up. Then this whole thing sits on here, right on top of those two nuts. And if you turn these thread rods together, it'll install it just like that. If they get a little tight, it's because you're not turning them evenly. Carefully slide the axis lead screws by rotating screws simultaneously. Now it wants me to take the remaining smooth rods, which are in here, those two puppies. Oops, I'm spilling all my stuff. There we go. And carefully slide them through here. Don't force them. They should go that easy. Same with this one. And he says all the way down into the printed part, you may need to move this a little bit to get it to line up. And I'm in. It's starting to look like a printer, isn't it? Look at that. Got this. And look at this. Now we're going to put the tops on. That's these guys. Need some 10 screws. And there's a left and a right to these guys. This is the part that goes in the frame. They go this way. Yeah. Simply put them on top like that. This one goes on top of here like that. And you put a 10mm screw in from the back or from the front. Oh, you do it from the front. Yeah. Whatever. Make sure you can see the holes in there. This worked. Like that. Again, if these are, this one's kind of snug. If they seem to be too tight, run the screw through from the back side and to clean the threads up. Leave the first one a little bit loose until you get the second one in. get to do a belt. Turn you around. At this point, there's two different types of whatever this is called. The X-axis belt holder. I have the kind that are toothed grooves. There's also kind that's round peg. We'll work with the instructions for this one. The first thing it wants us to do is take the belt. Tell you what, I think I might be able to lay this on its back and you can see it better. Maybe. Kind of like that. There we go. Now this is where something probably real important, which I did not do, is test fit the belt in these grooves. It's going to be snug, but if you can't get it in, reprint that part right then and there. Don't wait until you get to this stage. Ha! Look at that, Mr. Prusa, you did a great job. Using an Allen wrench, just seat it all the way in there. Perfect. Well, kind of perfect. Then we're going to take it. Try to avoid a twist in it. Check for a twist, which I have. There. See, so sit like this when I'm ready. Like that. And go back this way. That piece will hang if you do this vertically. I'm doing this direction just because it's easier for everybody else to see it. Like that, like so. And now I will have to do this part vertically, just so that I can get you to stay up like that. There we go. The belt goes. It'll be going through here eventually. Well, we pass it through this doohickey here. Or not. Okay, take some of that curl out of it. Maybe that'll help. Curl the other way. There we go. Goes around the motor shaft and back through that same slot. Around the motor shaft? No, right there. Okay. Now we're going to, the process here is to fit these teeth into those teeth. But I need to do it vertically, so it'd be difficult for you to see. me a marker. Moving on. It wants me to back off these screws on the motor, quite a bit actually, till the heads show. That way the motor can move. Okay, I did that. And something you'll notice in the instructions, each little text piece has a colored dot in front of it, and that matches the colored arrows in the description. Okay, I want you to put this in here. The belt is too long. Don't worry about that. That's part of the plan. If you pull it tight, start it in wherever it'll go. You don't want to push it all the way in. What we're trying to do is determine how much to cut off. And I think I'm a little too loose. So let's try it again. Hopefully that'll work. Okay, he does want you to push it all the way in at this point. We'll trim it in another step. So there, oh, hello. Yeah, all you need is the teeth engaged, which I have here. Okay, what he wants at this point is these two belts should be parallel to each other and not sagging on each other when you put the motor, when you rotate it back a little bit, which it is. It's pretty good. So it says to do that, rotate the motor back and tighten these screws. jumping ahead. Now we're doing that belt aligning procedure, which you just want to make sure the belt tracks more or less. It won't be in the center, but you don't want it riding up on the flanges either, on either side. And this one is tracking quite nice. If it's not tracking right, or if it wants to ride up on the shoulder, loosen the Allen head screws, move the pulley in and out. And again, you can do the old test, which is to hold the flat part with your pliers, and if you can't move this, which I can't, you're tight enough. And then he recommends that you put some sort of mark on here so you know about how long to trim this thing at on the belt. And it's right about there in my case. This is a measure twice, cut once or something, and then you cut the belt off at that mark. You don't have to do a mark, but it's a little more of a sure thing if you know what you, if you mark it ahead of time. And then you take that piece and shove it inside. Make sure it's all the way in. Allen head works great for that. Okay, where's the motor? Where's the motor? There it is. We're going to adjust the belt tension a little bit, and to do that, you back these screws off that hold the motor just a little bit. Then you turn this adjusting screw. In my case, it was just about right in the first place. You want to have the very slightest, I don't know if you can hear it, tone to the belt when you pluck it, but you can still press these together pretty easily. I'm tightening the motor mounts here. That's the old style motor. Nope, 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 nope. Finished. At this point, we have a y-axis, we have an x-axis, and we have z-axis. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the little bell to get updates or notifications for my next live stream. And until then, another gummy bear.